What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. In this one, I will be going over a battle between Primarchs. It is none other than Guilliman versus Fulgrim, and this battle can be found within the book Dark Imperium. So it's really interesting because clearly we know the history of Fulgrim and Guilliman, where Guilliman almost died at the hands of this demon Primarch. He got slit in the throat with a poisoned blade, and he had to be put on stasis. And now it's back in time for the rematch. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and see how the rematch goes. He searched for his brother in the conflict. Their two armies had met, and their struggles filled the Heliopolis from side to side. His warriors and the Emperor's children were intermingled. The blue armor of the Ultramarines dotted within a sea of clashing colors and battle plate decorated with the stretched skins of the dead. Cones of sound visibly tortured the air, blasting Guilliman's warriors from their feet. Blood fountained from breathing grills as dying space marines coughed up shattered internal organs. A knot of white-helmed Terminators stood back to back, dealing death to any traitor that strayed near, while a wall of Ultramarine Second Company brothers advanced, guns booming, pushing back the insane warriors. War was everywhere, desperate and wild. The situation in the void was mirrored within the Heliopolis. His men were outnumbered. They would die. The first theoretical, Guilliman thought. Fulgrim is a prime evil in this world. First practical, I will kill him. Second theoretical, he countered. You are angry. Second practical, you will throw your own life and those of your men away for nothing. You have failed in this campaign. Retreat. A memory of Connor Guilliman, his adopted father, flashed in his mind. Control your humors, Connor told him. You are mightier in every regard than any man, and that includes your passions. Master them, or you will fail. Temper. There was always his temper. For most of his life, Guilliman had kept his emotions in check, but there had been notable occasions when he had lost his head. At Calth, and when Satha was attacked, or when he had arrived late to Terra, or the early days of the Scouring. He would add this day to that record. Beneath his commanding exterior, Guilliman was seething with fury. Fulgrim, he bellowed, face me. A whip-fast motion flickered to his side. Fulgrim sped through the melee, coming from the left. Guilliman barely had any time to raise his sword before Fulgrim crashed into him, snarling incoherently, knocking him backwards. You hurt me, you corpse master's lapdog. The last vestiges of Fulgrim's humanity melted from his face as it transformed into a mask of pure hatred. No one hurts me. No one bests me. He wrapped his tail around his brother Primarch, constricting him with such force that his armor plate began to crack. Casting aside one sword, Fulgrim reached down and grasped Guilliman's head. You wanted to face me? So face me, he said, wrenching free Guilliman's helmet, exposing his naked flesh to the air. The stink of his corrupted brother made Guilliman gag. His head swam as the demon Primarch scent invaded his nose and throat, unmoderated by his battle helm system. Pathetic, cried Fulgrim. He uncurled, flinging Guilliman aside. His wounded arm was already healing, crackling warp energies working in tandem with his Primarch's physiology to make him whole again. He conjured swords from poisoned mists to fill his empty hands, and flew at the master of Macragge. Guilliman staggered upright, gasping. Every breath poured more of Fulgrim's lethal perfume into his lungs, a poison so potent that it taxed his superhuman body. He parried and parried again, but he could land no counterstrike, and he was forced back up the stairs. A blow flung his arm wide, and he never saw the blade that cut him coming. And that is where I will end this excerpt, for it is a awesome, beautiful introduction to the battle that is Guilliman versus Fulgrim. Honestly, Dark Imperium is a really great starting point into the new edition of 40k in my opinion, because finally we have another Primarch into the fray, and even though Fulgrim doesn't have a model yet, doesn't really have a storyline to him, he is a really important character when it comes to Chaos. A lot of lore behind who he is and why he is the way he is, especially if you look at like his love and I guess affection towards Fulgrim and how that spurned into a really bad series of events that led Fulgrim to turn to Slaanesh, become Chaos, and even become possessed by a demon. And all in all, this is also a mirror to the clone of Fulgrim who has remained loyal. So if these certain series of events orchestrated by the Chaos Gods never happened, would Fulgrim still remain loyal to the Emperor? Was the whole machinations of like Horus and Lorgar, and I guess you can go all the way back to like the Laren Blade and the events that perspired there, were those always meant to turn him to Chaos, or was there an inkling of hope for this Primarch? Either way, there is no hope for him now. Clearly we see him become this serpentine demonic entity, and what he can do to Guilliman. Now, Guilliman is struggling against him, but at the same time, Guilliman is also fighting back his anger. And that's something that clearly Khorne also plays a part in too. So it's very interesting how these Primarchs are always intertwined with the Chaos Gods. After all, they are created from warp stuff, and it is rumored / confirmed that the Emperor did steal the flame of the Chaos Gods to essentially create these Primarchs. So, what exactly do we have here? Is it a fight between Primarch and Primarch, or is it more of a quarrel between Chaos Gods, both of them mocking the Primarchs as playthings in their hand? So it's really interesting to think of them that way, because we see Dorn, even though he's a loyalist, he's also being plagued by Khorne. And no matter what, I feel like just the Chaos Gods have their fingers in every honeypot of the Imperium, and it's just that tease, that one step away, that one instance where an action can turn them to the Chaos Gods. So again guys, I highly recommend you guys check out Dark Imperium. It is a very cool novel that really pushes you forwards in the current timeline of 40k. Obviously we have the Lion already come out and he has his own novel, but I think if you want to see more about Guilliman and the state of the galaxy, Dark Imperium is a must read. So thank you guys for listening, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you then. Peace.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.